From what we heard in Iseult, demons are attacking villages, and more people are growing upset with the Abbey. So I hadn't expected things in Haria village to be so laid back.
They might be on their best behavior because you're accompanied by an exorcist.
Huh. I didn't know you could see the world in more than just black and white.
The Abbey wouldn't entrust my responsibilities to someone who couldn't see beyond the surface. I have seen many things in my work. I've beheld both the light and the darkness in the world of men. Despite that, no, because of that, I won't turn away from the wrongs that I encounter. Moreover, I have faith. I believe there is good in all our souls.
The darkness, huh?
Yes, like you.
You're awfully direct. We could use a place to...
Yep. Just finished.
Alright, time to start deciphering this scroll.
Let's wait somewhere outside so Grim can concentrate.
Do you think maybe I could stay and watch? I really do want to study the ancient tongue. I promise I'll be quiet and not get in your way, teacher.
What did you just say, child?
That I'd be quiet and...
No, what did you call me?
Teacher? You said you didn't want to be called ma'am, so I thought maybe that'd work.
Yes, satisfactory. Alright, I'll teach you how to read Ancient Avarost.
Thank you so much, teacher!
We'll leave you two alone then. Let us know if anything comes up.
connection do you think there is between the violent demon Teresa mentioned and this village?
Couldn't tell you.
Could there have been a demon blight breakout here? This village doesn't look like it's been attacked, but...
Whatever it is. If it keeps the Abbey's eyes off us for once, that's good enough for me.
You really will use anything and everything towards your own aims, won't you?
Yep, and that includes you. As I'm sure you've noticed.
Listen, I don't know what they told you in Isolde, but our village has its own traditions. This village is under the divine protection of the Empyrean Amenoch. For unbroken centuries, a line of his priestesses have guided us. They're tasked with performing the sacred rites of worship. And sometimes, they even deliver us his words and will.
And there's still a priestess today?
Of course! And her daughter is training to become our next priestess. Although, I sometimes feel they push themselves too hard. Both mother and daughter are giving their all for Haria. But the Abbey doesn't care about any of that. And they stole our temple from us.
By force?
An exorcist named Teresa came and heard us out. But from the very beginning, she always intended on taking our temple. Her words may have been kind, but that doesn't change the fact that she demanded that we worship her god, Inominat. In all the years we've worshipped Amenoch, not once did we ever try to force others to adopt our beliefs.
Why haven't I seen this priestess she's talking about?
Do you plan on just giving up? Palamedes is Amenoch's temple. The priestess isn't the only one whose job it is to protect that temple. It's the duty of everyone born in this village.
Why did the Abbey need Amenoch's temple badly enough to risk causing this much unrest?
But how will we protect our village from the demons if the Abbey abandons us? Besides, we won't be able to do business with the people of Isolde anymore.
Our faith in Amenoch has nothing to do with the demons. When the priestess gets back, I'm going with her to protest.
The demon blight changed everything. Will we never be able to return to the way things were?
The way things were.
So she digs being called teacher. Well played, Laphicet.
She wasn't so fond of ma'am, so I guess he figured he needed an alternative.
You can tell how badly he wanted to help her with the languagey work. I think our Malak boy's finally finding himself.
So it would seem.
Banning local religions. The Abbey sure knows how to oppress the populace.
I'd imagine that comes part and parcel with spreading the good word. Other gods would only get in the way.
From what we overheard, it sounds like they've taken over Amenoch's temple, Palamedes, to use as their base of operations.
Sealing it off would be provocative enough, but straight up taking it over? Not a lot of so-called reason to that. Unless... Do you think they need it for some other purpose?
Shrug.
It sounds like deciphering the text might take some time.
We should be prepared to wait it out here a while. Hopefully it'll all be worth it in the end.
I hope so too. But ancient Avarost is complex. It's not just a matter of knowing the grammar and vocabulary.
Oh? Then how exactly do you read it?
I'm not sure about the specifics myself, but from what I understand, you kind of have to intuit a lot of it.
A language based on guesswork? Thanks, old dead people. You're officially the worst. Ancient Avarost. You have the obstinacy of a spurned lover who refuses to move on.
Even for you, teacher?
It's this one crucial line. I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, from what you've taught me so far, it looks like it says... Saw?
Correct, but if you merely translate it word for word, it ends up saying, the parent hates tomatoes, the child eggplants.
I doubt those have much to do with Innominat. Yeah.
Their grammar is nothing like ours. Sometimes you have to reorder the words, and even then the meaning can require leaps of logic and flashes of intuition.
Reordering? So like... San-san, Pocho Pocho, Pocho Musan, Pocho Musan. Can you read it that way?
Pocho Musan. Now where did you get that from?
These words are lined up, like they repeat. And when I read this part that same way, it just felt right.
Pocho Musan. If that's repeated here, then the passage turns into... the Nameless Empyrean.
Empyrean!
Ho ho, that has to refer to Innominat. I think we're on to something. Alright, so if we apply this rule here, then... It would seem to be a book of children's counting songs.
It's not about Innominat?
What matters is what the song says, child. And I think you will be very interested in the words. I wonder if they've made any progress yet.
Shall we go check on them?
Well, any results? Yes. Well, thanks to the boy here. As it turns out, he has quite the knack for languages.
Only because I've got the best teacher.
Careful, honey tongue. You'll give this old girl ideas. Huh? Now, child, I'm sure they're curious about the song we unearthed. Why don't you read it aloud?
Yes, teacher.
Song?
8-headed is the lord of the land, with 7 mouths to devour malevolence. Through pulses of earth doth base nature's flow, as he awaits the time of awakening. 4 Empyreans may tear him asunder, but so long as there is one receptive to divine power, therions shall be forever reborn, in sight of the full crimson moon. The nameless Empyrean hath one heart, the nameless Empyrean hath one body.
Therions? Essentially, this ancient text you found is an annotated volume of drawings and songs pertaining to Innominat. Annotated? Then hurry up and just tell us what it means.
I'm sorry. So far, we've only figured out how to read the song lyrics.
All right.
I take it we're still in for a good long wait before it's thoroughly decrypted.
Likely so, but if we want to find out what the Abbey is up to, we need to know what's in this book, no matter how long it takes.
What the Abbey's up to, is it? I think we can learn much, even from the lyrics alone. The drawings depict him with 8 heads. One of them belongs to his main body, but the other 7 are his mouths. Those mouths consume malevolence, sending it along earth pulses back to that main body so he can awaken. The 7 monsters fitting that description are called
Therions.
Right. Now as for this malevolence, I have no idea what that means.
What about the second part?
I haven't studied much ancient history, but it said this world was created by 4 Empyreans: earth, water, wind, and fire. But they also call Innominat an Empyrean. Perhaps a war broke out between Innominat and the other Empyreans that resulted in him being sealed away.
But if there is someone to connect with this divine power, the therions will keep spawning. And just like that, Innominat will be revived. If we assume that Shepherd Artorius fits that bill, and that he's trying to reawaken Innominat, everything lines up.
Which means our job is to find these Therions and cut off Innominat's heads, so to speak.
But where do we even start looking for them?
Remember, the song states that the Therions in Innominat's body are connected through earth pulses. If their job is to feed Innominat, the most effective place to position them would be at the earth pulse points.
Points?
The places where the power of earth pulses is concentrated.
Places with that sigil. Hey, remember the barrier that was keeping this bug in the forest?
Wait, are you trying to say that thing's a Therion? And yet, it would explain why the Abbey was keeping it locked up.
And there was that same barrier at the villa, too.
That's right. Do you suppose that was also a Therion? Does that mean the Therions all come in different forms?
Should we go to Logres and check?
We've just started deciphering the book. I'd hate to lose time on some fool's errand. I'd rather know at least a little more about what's in it before we make a...
Something bothering you, Grim?
This line. The one about Therions being forever reborn.
I just felt the same thing as I did in Warg Forest.
The needle's pointing in the direction of Amenoch's temple, Palamedes. Do I recall hearing that the Abbey took that over?
Temples and ritual sites are often built on places thought to be rich in spiritual energy. Could the temple possibly be an Earth Pulse point?
There's lots of Earth Pulse points scattered all over the world. If there's only 7 therions, most of them will be empty.
It's not like we have any better leads. If there's even a chance, shouldn't we go check it out?
Better than sitting around waiting on the book. If nothing else, we'll find out what Laphicet is sensing. Just a theory, but if you were to kill a therion... What? I guess there's only one way to find out. Never mind. Good luck out there. Who are you?
The innkeeper's daughter. I happened to overhear you all talking about going to Palamedes and...
Did you report us to the Abbey?
Report? But you already have an exorcist with you.
If you have any business, talk with her then.
I'm Eleanor Hume, an exorcist with the Abbey. How might I be of service?
I want you to look for someone. A mother and her child went to visit the Abbey grounds, but they haven't returned.
They've both gone missing?
Yes. The mother's name is Mahina. She's a priestess of Amenoch. And her little daughter's name is Kamoana.
Hold on. If she's a priestess of Amenoch...
Right. Ever since the Abbey booted her out from the temple, she's been regularly going back to make her objections heard. But one day, she never returned home. And now her daughter has disappeared too. I can only assume that she went to go look for her mother.
And you believe they're being held at the temple?
Oh no, ma'am. Kamoana is next in line to succeed her, so she's... Please forgive Mahina for her protests. I
will do everything in my...
Thank you. Like Kamoana, I grew up with only my mother.
Of course.
Let's be off.
Hey! Did you know that in our grandfather's Midgand, once we got right...
So there was a neighbor...
Yeah, the war raged for 10 years.
Midgand is much larger.
Every time we Southganders...
Still.
Yeah, despite our...
But now the...
I just hope...
Just this morning, we always have the freshest produce.
can't deal with this anymore.
What's the matter?
Everyone's sick. So, but people, this got me.
You would fit.
Oh, people.
Exact. The bonito.
So if you made.
That's exact. So,
And that is?
I'll put my. No one. Right?
Who's a kid?
But all the. Isn't that just horrible?
That's the most.
Mom would. I don't want.
This is all your fault for letting
Those creep.
I never.
You should have just
So that's.
She asked us.
Eleanor, what's your game here?
The mother and daughter, you mean? That's on me. I'll search for them myself.
I don't care about that.
Well, what then?
Why are you actively helping us decipher the book, when we're using it to thwart the Abbey's plans?
You think I might be deliberately misleading you? Laying a trap of some sort for you all?
Are you?
I think you're a lot of things, Demon. I want to know the truth. I want to know what Lord and there's something happening in the world right now, unfortunately. Little old Eleanor has never been. So, my only option is to find out for myself.
You've got the soul searching down at least.
The Abbey and your band of rogues follow two different paths.
And so you don't see any need to lie to us?
Exactly.
And what'll you do if those...
I'm...
as honest in it?
Yes, for now.
Hey,
What is it?
about the theory. I've heard you call yourself a.
No.
And that.
Does it
Nope, not.
I'm sorry, but...
Velvet keeps picking on Madame Eleanor. They're total.
You really?
If Madame Eleanor is.
I don't follow you.
I'm sure you understand. The two have nothing, and since they.
Well, they both have beautiful hair.
Okay.
Eleanor sometimes treats you coldly.
Madame Eleanor gives herself fully to the salvation of others.
That means
How is it?
both of them talk.
You're just trying.
I'm only telling you what I've experienced.
Actually, I feel that
It's all right if Eleanor doesn't want to.
that just.
You two are opposites yourselves.
Huh?